The day had started like any other, yet for Alex, it carried an unusual tension. His sister, Mia, had always been competitive, clever, and mischievous, qualities that often left him caught between annoyance and admiration. Today, however, her cunning would push him into a world he had never imagined. He was 17, a high school student navigating the tricky balance between academics, social life, and the quiet personal quirks he never shared with anyone, not even his closest friends. Alex had always been practical, cautious, and a little self-conscious, particularly about how he was perceived. While some of his classmates spent weekends chasing adrenaline, he preferred the comfort of his room, video games, and the occasional private experiment in self-expression. It was his secret, something he had only toyed with in solitude, the subtle thrill of dressing in feminine clothes, experimenting with makeup, and exploring a side of himself that society wouldn't approve of. It wasn't a passion he could share, nor a necessity, but it was a curiosity that whispered to him quietly, promising both excitement and guilt. The setting was their shared home, a cozy two-story house in a suburban neighborhood. The living room smelled faintly of fresh laundry and the lingering aroma of breakfast, sunlight spilling through half-open curtains and illuminating dust motes in the air. The house carried a casual warmth, yet Alex felt a tight knot of anticipation in his stomach. Mia had promised him a simple challenge this morning, a bet, but as she approached with that sly, knowing smile, he sensed that this was no ordinary game. Mia was beautiful, confident, and seemingly effortlessly graceful. Her long hair cascaded in waves over her shoulders, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "Hey, Alex," she said, leaning casually against the doorway. "I've got a challenge for you. Think you can handle it?" Her tone was playful, teasing, but beneath it lurked something sharper, a gleam of cunning that always hinted at the unexpected. Alex hesitated, the weight of the moment pressing down. "What kind of challenge?" he asked cautiously, trying to mask both curiosity and unease. He had learned over the years that Mia's bets were rarely straightforward. There was always a twist, a subtle way to push him beyond his comfort zone. Mia's grin widened. "It's simple. Or at least it starts simple," she said. She handed him a piece of paper, detailing the terms of the bet. As he read, his heart began to pound. The words on the page were innocent enough at first, an agreement to follow a series of tasks, but soon revealed a twist that made his chest tighten. The bet required him to present himself as her perfect twin, to dress, act, and look exactly like her. It was a challenge that would blur the lines of identity, force him into an intimate exploration of his secret curiosities, and put his composure and his relationship with Mia on the line. Alex's mind raced. The implications were immediate. The clothing, the makeup, the posture, the voice, everything would need to shift. He felt a mixture of dread and excitement, the thrill of secrecy intertwining with the fear of exposure. Mia noticed the hesitation, her eyes narrowing playfully. "Don't tell me you're scared," she teased. "It's just a bet. But you'll see, it could be fun." The initial mood in the house shifted subtly. The cozy warmth of sunlight and laundry was replaced by a charged tension, a private stage set for transformation. Alex felt the first stirrings of his secret self, a curious thrill that he had never allowed to surface so openly. His palms grew slightly sweaty, heart fluttering as he contemplated the tasks ahead. It wasn't just about winning or losing the bet. It was about stepping into a persona that had lived quietly in the recesses of his mind, now pushed into the light under Mia's watchful eye. Alex's occupation, student, brother, secret experimenter, intertwined uniquely with this challenge. He had spent hours alone practicing subtle transformations, layering clothes differently, experimenting with eyeliner, adjusting posture, and observing the way small details could shift perception. Now, every lesson he had learned in private would be tested under the scrutiny of his sister, and perhaps the wider world. The stakes, while playful on the surface, carried a weight that made his pulse race and imagination spin. Mia clapped her hands lightly, breaking the tension. "Come on, you'll start with the basics. Clothes, makeup, hair. I'll guide you. If you follow my lead, you'll be perfect." Her voice was encouraging yet commanding, a blend of sisterly care and playful authority. Alex nodded, a mix of apprehension and curiosity coursing through him. The room seemed smaller suddenly. Every object, a chair, a mirror, a piece of clothing, feeling significant in this new, tense reality. He glanced at the mirror across the room, already imagining the reflection that awaited him. The person staring back would not be the same Alex who had walked into the living room moments ago. It would be a blend of his secret self and Mia's familiar beauty, a delicate, thrilling, and terrifying combination. He swallowed hard, heart racing, aware that once he began, there would be no turning back. This introduction sets the stage. Alex's secret curiosity, Mia's cunning personality, the cozy yet charged home setting, and the initial challenge that will push him toward transformation. The audience is drawn into his internal conflict, the suspense of the bet, and the anticipation of the thrilling, delicate journey ahead. Alex's hands trembled slightly as he opened Mia's carefully organized wardrobe. The clothes hung neatly, each piece a reflection of her impeccable style. Delicate blouses, flowing skirts, tight-fitting dresses that accentuated curves, and shoes that were elegant yet intimidating for anyone unpracticed in heels. He hesitated for a moment, heart pounding, staring at the array of colors and fabrics. Mia leaned casually against the doorway, arms crossed, a smirk playing on her lips. "Pick carefully," she said, voice playful but firm. "You're not just dressing up, you're becoming me." The first step was clothing, and Alex's mind raced with every detail. Each choice had consequences. The wrong blouse could betray his shoulders, the wrong skirt could reveal his legs differently than he intended, and the wrong shoes could throw off his balance entirely. Yet as he selected a soft pastel blouse and a pleated skirt, a strange thrill ran through him. The tactile sensation, the cool fabric against his skin, the gentle brush of the skirt over his thighs, was unlike anything he had experienced before. It was both exhilarating and nerve-wracking. Mia guided him through the process, adjusting collars, smoothing creases, and offering tips on posture. Shoulders back, chin up, soft hands. "You want to move like me, not just look like me," she instructed. Every correction was a reminder of how delicate the balance was between perfection and exposure. Alex felt acutely aware of every muscle, every movement, every breath. Next came makeup, a realm Alex had only explored in private, now under the scrutiny of Mia's practiced eye. She handed him foundation, concealer, eyeshadow, mascara, and lip gloss, each item a tool for transformation. The process was meticulous, every brushstroke a test of precision and composure. He felt the strange duality, excitement at the visible transformation and anxiety over the potential for failure. As he applied mascara, the reflection in the mirror startled him. The familiar contours of his face softened, eyes appearing larger, lashes longer, cheekbones more defined. The thrill of seeing himself become Mia, so convincingly, sent a shiver down his spine. Yet there was a vulnerability too. One wrong stroke, one misapplied line, could undo hours of careful work. Mia continued guiding him, teaching the nuances of expression, a tilt of the head, the subtle arch of an eyebrow, the gentle curl of a smile. "Confidence sells it," she said. "Even if you feel like a mess inside, the world only sees what you show them." Alex repeated the movements, awkward at first, then gradually more fluid. Each correction brought a mix of embarrassment and exhilaration. The transformation was not only physical but emotional. Alex felt a new awareness of his body. Every brush of fabric, every tilt of the head, every step in heels heightened his senses. He was acutely conscious of the dual identity he was embodying, the boy he had always been, and the feminine persona crafted by Mia. Each reflection in the mirror reinforced this tension, every glance a reminder of the secrecy and thrill intertwined in the bet. As the hours passed, Alex practiced walking, sitting, and gesturing like Mia. The heels pinched, the skirt swayed, the wig framed his face differently than he imagined, but the transformation was striking. He caught glimpses of himself and nearly didn't recognize the delicate figure staring back. The thrill of secrecy, the knowledge that only he and Mia knew the truth, made each movement more intense. Internal conflict surged as well. Alex felt a mixture of shame and excitement. He had never imagined presenting himself so openly in another persona, even with Mia's playful guidance. The vulnerability was intoxicating, the risk of discovery making the transformation even more thrilling. Every sound outside the bedroom, footsteps, a car passing, a neighbor talking, made his heart race. Then came the real test, moving beyond the safety of the bedroom. Mia set up a mini, public scenario in the living room, simulating a social situation where Alex would need to act convincingly. The pressure was intense. Alex felt exposed, each gesture scrutinized, each word measured. Mia offered tips, but the internal struggle, balancing authenticity with secrecy, was his alone. By the evening, Alex had achieved a startling level of transformation. He moved with confidence, spoke with a soft, melodic voice, and felt a subtle thrill of power in his new identity. Yet every glance in the mirror reminded him of the fragility of the moment. One misstep, one unexpected visitor, one distracted movement could unravel the delicate persona. Mia smiled approvingly, clearly enjoying the dynamic tension. "You're getting there," she said. "But remember, the world outside doesn't forgive mistakes. Every move counts." The words reinforced the suspense, the stakes of exposure, and the excitement of secrecy. The build-up culminated in a moment alone. Alex, now fully dressed and made up, walked slowly through the apartment, feeling every inch of the transformation. The fabric of the skirt, the pinch of the heels, the wig brushing against his neck. All sensations heightened his awareness of the persona he was embodying. He glanced in the mirror, seeing a near-perfect version of Mia, and realized that the bet was no longer just a game. It was an intimate, thrilling exploration of identity, vulnerability, and control. At that moment, a knock echoed from the front door. Alex froze. The thrill of secrecy surged again, heightened by the knowledge that a visitor could arrive at any time. Mia's playful voice reminded him, "Remember, you're my perfect twin. Keep it flawless." Alex took a deep breath, heart racing, aware that the next moment could challenge everything he had practiced: the suspense, the thrill, and the delicate balance between exposure and concealment. The sun had dipped below the horizon, casting the apartment in a warm, golden glow that slowly faded into the soft shadows of evening. Alex, now fully transformed into Mia's perfect twin, stood in the middle of the living room, heels pinching slightly, skirt swaying with each subtle movement. Every detail of the transformation had been perfected. The hair, makeup, and posture were flawless. Yet, the excitement that had carried him through the afternoon was now tinged with fear. Mia had stepped out briefly to run an errand, leaving Alex alone. The apartment felt both familiar and treacherously alien in this new persona. Every creak of the floorboard, every hum of the refrigerator, every distant car on the street sounded like a potential threat. Alex's heart pounded as he walked toward the mirror, adjusting the wig and smoothing the skirt, fully aware that his secret could be exposed at any moment. Suddenly, a loud knock echoed from the front door. Panic surged through him. He froze, heels clicking against the hardwood, every instinct screaming to hide. Who could it be at this hour? The knock came again, insistent, almost mocking. Alex's mind raced. Was it a neighbor, a delivery, or someone who could see him for who he really was? He peeked through the peephole, his breath catching. It was Mr. Henderson, the neighbor who often dropped by unexpectedly, carrying a package and wearing a friendly but inquisitive expression. Alex's pulse quickened. One small misstep could reveal the entire transformation. He fumbled for composure, adjusting the wig and skirt, and opened the door just enough to take the package. "Thanks," Alex said, voice higher and softer than usual, mimicking Mia's tone. The neighbor's brow lifted slightly, curiosity evident, but he said nothing else and left. Alex exhaled shakily, relief mixing with adrenaline. The near exposure reminded him that the thrill came with real stakes. As he set the package down, another unexpected sound cut through the tension, a phone notification for Mia. She would be back soon. Alex's mind whirled. Every second alone heightened the stakes. Should he change back quickly, risking a mess and losing the perfect transformation, or maintain the persona until Mia returned, risking discovery if someone entered? He chose to stay, feeling the intoxicating blend of excitement and fear coursing through him. Hours seemed to stretch endlessly. Alex practiced movements in the mirror, perfecting gestures, expressions, and posture. Each motion was delicate, precise, yet every small noise outside, the doorbell, footsteps, a passing car, made him flinch. The suspense was a tangible weight pressing against his chest. Then, another knock so sudden it made him jump. Alex froze, heels trembling, wig slightly slipping. This time it wasn't a neighbor, it was Emma, Mia's best friend, unexpectedly arriving. Alex's heart raced. Emma was vibrant, perceptive, and full of energy, the kind that could expose secrets in a heartbeat. Alex scrambled for composure, adjusting his wig, smoothing the skirt, and practicing a casual smile. When he opened the door, Emma's eyes widened slightly, a flicker of recognition in her gaze. "Wow, you look just like Mia," she said, curiosity and admiration mixed in her tone. "It's perfect." Alex's chest tightened. Her words were both relief and threat. Relief because she didn't suspect anything unusual, yet threat because one slip, one laugh, one careless word could unravel the delicate balance. The adrenaline surged, making every heartbeat echo in his ears. Mia's voice suddenly came from the hallway, muffled but unmistakable. She was returning early. Panic erupted. Alex's mind raced. He had mere seconds to decide: maintain the persona or retreat to safety. The pressure was immense. He could feel the physical tension in his legs from the heels, the pinch of the skirt, and the delicate wig tilting under his fingers. Emma, sensing the tension, leaned in slightly. "Are you okay?" she asked softly. Alex's heart leapt. Her perception could uncover the secret, or she could play along, adding another layer to the suspense. He nodded, trying to sound natural, but the tremor in his voice betrayed him. Suddenly, the package he had set down earlier shifted, tipping over slightly. The sound was deafening in the tense silence. Both Emma and Alex froze. The moment felt eternal, every second stretching into what seemed like hours. Alex's reflection in the mirror captured everything: the vulnerability, the excitement, the danger. Mia's shadow appeared in the doorway. "Everything all right in here?" she called, voice casual but laced with curiosity. Alex's chest tightened. He teetered slightly in the heels, wig slipping further, skirt brushing the floor in a way that threatened to reveal the reality beneath. The suspense was almost unbearable. Alex's mind raced for a solution. Should he pretend everything was normal, step back into casual movements, or risk a sudden excuse to cover the moment? He chose subtlety, maintaining delicate gestures, softening expressions, and keeping a composed stance. Every nerve was alert, aware that one wrong move could shatter the carefully built illusion. The room seemed suspended in tension. Emma's eyes flicked between Alex and the mirror, curiosity bright. Mia stepped closer, still unaware but perceptive, observing every detail. Alex felt a mixture of exhilaration and terror. He was fully immersed in his twin persona, yet the stakes had never been higher. Time slowed. The reflection in the mirror seemed almost symbolic. The dual identity, the delicate balance of secrecy and exposure, the thrilling uncertainty. Alex realized that this moment, this confrontation of identity, perception, and risk, defined the essence of his transformation. And then, a sudden sound from the hallway, a footstep that didn't belong to either Mia or Emma. Panic surged. Alex froze completely. The suspense reached its peak. The mystery visitor, the delicate persona, the fragile balance of heels, skirt, and wig, all converged in an instant of perfect tension. The screen cuts to black, leaving viewers on edge, hearts racing, unsure of what will happen next. Will Alex's secret be revealed? Will Mia or Emma notice the subtle differences? What happens with the unknown visitor? Alex's heart was pounding in his chest like a drum, each beat echoing through the tense silence of the apartment. He stood frozen, perfectly poised in Mia's heels and skirt, wig slightly askew, and makeup still flawless. Every nerve in his body screamed that the moment of truth had arrived. The mysterious footstep from the hallway, a sound that didn't belong to Mia or Emma, seemed to suspend time itself. He forced himself to breathe slowly, attempting to project the calm confidence of the twin persona he had crafted over hours. Yet beneath the surface, adrenaline surged, making his hands sweat and his stomach twist in knots. One wrong movement, one slip of the wig, one casual glance could unravel everything: his secret, the bet, and the delicate balance of identity he had maintained for so long. Emma, standing just a few feet away, looked at him with a mixture of curiosity and admiration. "You're amazing," she whispered, eyes shining. The words should have been reassuring, but in that charged moment, they only heightened the fear. What if her praise drew more attention, or worse, scrutiny that could reveal the truth? Mia's footsteps grew closer, deliberate and slow, each one a reminder of the stakes. Alex adjusted his posture, smoothed the skirt, and tried to steady the wig, but his mind raced with possibilities. The tension was unbearable. The suspense had reached a fever pitch. He glanced at the mirror again, seeing his reflection, the perfect twin of Mia, yet carrying the subtle hints of his true self beneath the surface. It was a fragile illusion, beautiful yet precarious. The mysterious visitor's identity remained unknown. Another step, closer this time, and Alex realized that hiding or retreating was no longer an option. His pulse quickened, sweat prickling at the back of his neck. Every sense was heightened: the rustle of fabric, the soft click of heels, the faint hum of the refrigerator, even the distant traffic outside. Each sound was amplified, a reminder that discovery could happen in an instant. Suddenly, the hallway light flickered, casting shifting shadows across the living room. Alex froze mid-step, toes gripping the floor in his heels, eyes darting toward the movement. The reflection in the mirror seemed almost symbolic, a dual life caught between perfection and vulnerability, secrecy and exposure. He realized that no matter how flawless his transformation, reality could intrude at any second, shattering the delicate balance he had fought to maintain. Mia's voice called out, closer now, her tone casual, but with an edge of curiosity. "Alex, everything all right in here?" The words were innocent, but in Alex's mind, they carried the weight of judgment. One slip, one nervous twitch, and she would notice. The mysterious visitor finally stepped into the doorway, a shadowed figure, face hidden from view. Alex's breath caught in his throat. He could feel the tension coiling in his chest, every muscle tight with anticipation. The figure moved slowly, deliberately, toward the living room. The suspense was nearly unbearable, each second stretched into an eternity. Emma's eyes widened slightly, sensing the tension, but she said nothing. Alex felt the heat of her gaze, the unspoken questions, and the potential for recognition. He wanted to speak, to explain, to laugh off the moment, but words stuck in his throat. He was trapped, caught between maintaining the twin persona and the looming threat of exposure. Then, in a split second, the door to the living room swung open fully. Light flooded the space, illuminating Alex, Emma, and the approaching visitor. The reflection in the mirror captured the moment perfectly. Alex poised in heels and skirt, wig slightly slipping, eyes wide with anticipation, and a subtle tremor betraying his inner fear. And then the story freezes. The scene cuts to black, leaving viewers on edge. Who is the mysterious visitor? Will they recognize Alex's secret? How will Mia react if she discovers the truth? Can Alex maintain his twin persona under this sudden scrutiny?